The United States issued new counterterrorism sanctions on Friday, targeting Iranian individuals and entities, among others. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Friday that any removal of the U.S. financial and economic blockade on Iran would be slow. He said U.S. had seized $1 billion in Iranian cryptocurrency assets as part of the economic component of President Donald Trump's war on the Islamic Republic. And now to get you more on this, I'm joined by DD India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh. Good afternoon, Shubhendu. Well, after the meeting concluded, the recent statement says that the exchange of messages is continuing, but an understanding has not been finalized. And so far, it has been the question of mutual understanding only. But after the latest developments, can we see both the parties getting one step closer towards a peace deal here?
Good afternoon, Deepika. That's indeed a million-dollar question. After the Situation Room meeting, nothing really came out of that. President Donald Trump, any decision on the negotiation, whether he accepts it or not, nothing has been made clear. We also haven't heard from the Iranian leadership, from the Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei either. The chasm is too great. We see the points that are being negotiated. The maximalist stance that the two countries have taken, United States and Iran, that makes the gap, to close the gap in negotiation, very difficult. Take, for example, the position on Strait of Hormuz. America wants it open and free for everyone. Iran wants influence on Strait of Hormuz from here on, and perhaps even toll. Whether it's the question of the nuclear dust or nuclear material that Iran possesses, America wants to not just acquire the nuclear leftover, but also wants an agreement, wants a confirmation from a guarantee from Iran that they will not pursue a future or where any nuclear weapon or any nuclear technology for that matter will be allowed. Iran, on the other hand, is refusing to hand over that nuclear material and is also defending its right to have civil nuclear use, although it has categorically said that it is not pursuing any ambitions to make a nuclear bomb. There is also the financial angle to this logjam that we are witnessing at the moment. Iran wants the sanctions that have over the past decades crippled the Iranian economy to be lifted. It also wants reparations. We recall our exclusive conversation with the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi last week. It said that Iran is a victim in this conflict and therefore America and Israel must pay reparations, make up for the damage that has been caused by the war on Iran. United States President Trump, in his direct message on Truth Social, has said that there will be no exchange of money between the adversaries. So in that sense, we see this fundamental difference between the two sides as far as approach to those very core questions in the ceasefire deal is concerned. Deepika?
And as you said, there are two major demands here surrounding first the nuclear dust and second toll on the Hormuz Strait as well. Now without this the deal seems incomplete, but with this tough to reach a consensus between the two. Considering all latest developments, what can be expected next on these two major demands?
The situation continues to remain very fluid. One hasn't really heard from the United States. The only insight is what we're getting from the Shangri-La dialogue. The Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth of the United States has hinted that President Donald Trump has been exceptionally patient as far as reaching a ceasefire agreement is concerned, given that the implications would be for decades to come for United States, for Iran, the region and the world. So he's in not a hurry. The Strait of Hormuz blockade does not directly affect the United States, although its economy is also not untouched by the inflationary trends. It is, of course, creating a lot of pressure in the region and global energy supply chain. 20% of the energy movement supply chain moves from the Strait of Hormuz, remember, and the double blockade that is present there is causing significant disruption. So the way forward, it appears, could be an extension of the ceasefire while the dialogue and negotiation continues between the United States and Iran. Meanwhile, Israeli operation in Lebanon continues. That should also be a concern for Iran, which seeks to retain a certain influence over the entire region and looks at Israel also as a top adversary. There could also be a possibility where United States decides to launch a military strike again, although the possibility is rarer because both sides may have understood from their past experience in February and March that there may not be any short-term or long-term military solution to this conflict. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens next and what the leaders have to say on this in the days ahead.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Shubhendu, for joining us and getting us the latest on the developing situation.